Let me check my volume. It is good. Let's continue to go over this event. Butler, Pennsylvania. What was the Butler really all about? You know, we always heard the Butler did it. As far as murder mysteries, Butler, Pennsylvania. And Butler introduces Mr. Big. So that was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So let me go find that video. I thought I had it. Here it is right here.
So, it's my esteemed.
So this will drop the volume whenever this begins. So I really need to keep an eye on the volume. Sir, it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Donald Trump.
Pleasure to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Donald Trump.
And of course, they pop in. So the butler introduced them on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And making sure the volume is still good. Okay. Because that's how it works. They'll drop that volume on me. I got the box open. So who was that guy? Well, that guy was a guy. It's called For Sale by Owner. It came out May 16th, 1994. We'll get into the guy who was born 9/21/1979. His name was Alfonso Ribeiro. He's born, of course, on the 21st of September, which transfer portals over to May 1st. May Day, May Day. We know May Day is a big day in their world. And that episode, May 16th, 1994, I think I've got that pulled up on my other preps. But maybe not. Let me double check. Oh, that's what it was. I had it loaded up over here in an email, but I went ahead and pulled it up also. You do have to include both dates in order to get the Butler 5/16/1994 when the Butler introduced Trump. And see, the guy falls down. That's what's very important. I forgot to leave that. I left that part out. When Trump comes walking in, this guy falls. He faints, which represents falling. And when he falls, that's representing Trump's gunshot. So, and Alfonso Rubio, the guy that falls, my volume's still good. I have to keep double checking that. When you run Alfonso Rubio to our 11/6 date, he's 53 years, 1 month, 16 days. 116. 53 years, 1 month, 16 days. 1 month, 16 days. 116 is 116. November 6th. Heavily coded right there. Enormously coded. Screams at us. Does it. If you run it to the rising day and include both dates, you've got your 1 month, 19 days for 119 Donald. And, you know, that's what they called him all throughout the show, the Donald. You know, that's what he's always been called. Donald means world ruler. So that May 16th, 1994 show to our 11/6 date, if you include both dates, it is 11,133. Well, that's 11,013.3 for Revelation 13:3. The first time deadly wound is mentioned in the book of Revelation is Revelation 13:3. And if you run it to the 8th, and include both dates, that is that 11,135. And the 135th prime number is 761, which is the amount of verses combined of Daniel's 357 and Revelation's 404. It's 761 verses. And they did code that for us in the Dark Knight when they showed us the license tag 135 on Bruce Wayne's car. And then minutes later on the back of the bus showed the 761. I showed y'all a video of both a long time ago or a while back. I don't know, about what, 6 months ago? So Butler introduces Mr. Big video, and when Big was on Fresh Prince. Show on 5/16/94 is 13 days from our 11/6 best guess. 13:3 code. Revelation 13:3, the first time Deadly Wound is mentioned. It's a perfect 11,000 days to his return to Butler. That's what it was. That's what it was. So the show, when he returned to Butler, Pennsylvania on 10/5, it is a perfect 1,1,1,0,0 days. 11,100 days. Remembering that the Twin Towers were 110 stories tall. That's very strong right there. Very interesting the way they worked that out like that. It's a perfect 11,016 days to the 713 event. I forgot that all that was in there. So if you go back to 713 from the Butler introducing him and him falling down, it's 11,016 days. Well, there's our 116 code again for him going down on November 16th. That's big. That's so gigantic. I'm just going to go ahead and end this prep now with that. Milton, by the way, comes to collapse in both Jewish gematria and simple gematria. You go to Milton. I'm sorry. Already got that up. We need collapse. I can't spell for beans or rice. See the 249, the 498, and the 83? 83 is simple. 249 is Jewish, which is where we get the 666 to match Mr. Big. 498 is 6 times the 83, where A is 6, B is 12. And then you go to Milton, it's the same, 249, 498, and 83. That is tremendous. But anyway, I'm going to end this prep now, and we'll do a part 2 on everything else I've got prepped. But this was so big about the Butler that it needs to stand alone. All right, love you.